I don't think that Minecraft as a game needs any introduction, so I'll skip that initial part of every pretentious video essay where they start at the beginning of the observable universe. Instead, I'm going to be talking about the main premise of the video. What is Minecraft about? I know it sounds like a stupid question. Whatever you want it to be is the obvious answer, and I can see why people think that. Minecraft, by its nature as a sandbox game, is at its core about pushing your creativity to the limit. If I was talking about creative mode, I'd end the video right here. However, I want to focus on survival mode because I'd argue that the main premise of survival mode and what it is about changes depending on the version you're playing. Now, Minecraft is no stranger to controversial versions. Beta 1.8 and the combat update are the two updates that immediately come to mind. The thing about both updates is that they both represent cutoff points that have significantly transformed Minecraft from what it was before that. Speaking as someone who has spent some time in Beta 1.7.3, 1.8.9, and the newer updates of the game, I think that Minecraft is about different things depending on those versions. In this video, I'm going to be comparing Beta 1.7.3, 1.8.9, and the newest 1.21. Summarize what those versions are about, and even tackle some issues I feel are present in modern Minecraft. But before we begin, did you know that only a small percentage of... I'm just kidding. When have I ever begged for subs on this channel? Whatever. Instead, I want to introduce the terminology I want to use to refer to the different versions. For every single version before beta, I'm going to be using the term archaic Minecraft. From beta 1.0 to beta 1.8.1, I'm going to be using classical Minecraft as my term. From the adventure update all the way to the bountiful update, I'm going to be using the term post-classical Minecraft. And from the combat update onwards, I'm going to be using modern Minecraft. Bear in mind that despite the layout I have just put forward, the eras I divided the game into do not perfectly slot into this timeline. It's a spectrum, where a starting version slowly morphs into the next version. This might be a bit complicated to some people, but I know most of my viewers come from my Friday Night Funk and Analog Horror, Five Nights at Freddy's, and Ultra Kill videos, so being on a spectrum shouldn't really be too confusing for you guys. Anyway, we will be starting this video off by going back in time, back when I was learning shapes and colors, when Minecraft YouTubers weren't attracted to children, and when you could still buy something with the Venezuelan bolivar. Also, before I begin the part of the video where I talk about beta Minecraft, I just want to warn any viewers that my computer and recording software can't really handle beta Minecraft too well, so if it looks more like a PowerPoint presentation, I'm sorry. In 2009, Marcus Persson, more popularly known as Notch, created a prototype called Cave Game. Over the course of the next year, he would slowly rename the game, update it to InDev, then InfDev, to finally an alpha release. I'm calling this era of Minecraft archaic Minecraft, and I'm also not going to focus on it. Instead, we're going to focus on the beta releases of Minecraft, or as I'm going to call it, classical Minecraft, not to be confused with Minecraft Classic. First of all, I'm going to say this before anyone accuses me of having rose-tinted glasses towards this era of Minecraft. I was alive when beta was out. I was also still trying to figure out how to wipe my own ass. Needless to say, I don't have any childhood memories of classical Minecraft. Also, before I really go over this version of Minecraft, I want to clarify that I will be playing and using beta 1.7.3 as an example. Classical Minecraft differs from later versions in several key ways. For starters, there's no hunger bar. Food is instead used directly to heal you. The trade-off is that sprinting doesn't exist yet. The various structures that dot the landscape in future versions don't exist yet. The end doesn't even exist yet. The world generation differs from the generation present in the game from 1.0 to 1.16, having a more retro and fantastical vibe to them than future versions, which is helped by the old, rougher textures. I've heard at least one person describe the feeling of this era of Minecraft as reminding them of when they were young, and everything was so mysterious. And I can see why they would think that. However, classical Minecraft is not only fantastical and charming, but it can also be nerve-wracking and even disturbing at times. The lighting system works differently than it does in newer versions, making caves in the night basically pitch black. You never know what lies in the deepest parts of caves, or what walks around at night. I've been playing this game for several years of my life at this point, and despite knowing most of the things that Minecraft has to offer, going into the caves of classical Minecraft is something that creeps me out. And I basically never set foot outside my small base at night, which is otherwise a common occurrence in future versions. Skeletons basically walk around with semi-automatic rifles instead of bows, and for creepers, those fuckers can strafe. Couple that with the inability to sprint, and every time you venture out into the wilderness or into deeper and deeper caves, you have to stop and ask yourself occasionally if what you want to do is worth it. With all those things added together, classical Minecraft is a game where your only objective is to survive a desolate and almost hostile world. Unless you're playing on one of the few beta servers still active, you are truly alone. I've seen some players fill their worlds with figures made of blocks and pumpkin heads to combat the feeling of isolation and loneliness present in this era of Minecraft. I can 100% see how the legend of Herobrine could have spread so quickly at this time. This feeling of loneliness, but in the deepest recesses of the darkness, this feeling that you're not alone, is genuinely uncanny and kind of creepy at times. These combined feelings of charm, loneliness, fear, and a sense of mystery creates this unique atmosphere to classical Minecraft that isn't really present in future versions. I can definitely see why people prefer this era to modern versions of Minecraft. However, classical Minecraft, like the other versions, is a sandbox game at heart. You have far fewer blocks to work with, but that doesn't stop people from pushing their creativity to the farthest it can go, making some truly impressive builds. Sure, they're unimpressive nowadays, but remember that this was before creative mode was re-added to the game. Since there is no real objective in classical Minecraft, this is the one thing that you can do when the survival elements of the game are taken care of and you've already collected enough diamonds to make a full set and have built a nether portal. All of that said, there are some things that classical Minecraft does much worse than future versions. While limitations can make you more creative, the vast number of blocks that you can use in future versions definitely makes building way better and opens up your options considerably. I can build far more things in different styles in modern Minecraft than I can in the beta releases. Also, there are several features in those modern versions that make the game much more convenient to play. Playing Minecraft while not being able to right-click armor to instantly put it on, double-click to stack items or spread items out in crafting tables gets really annoying after a while. If you want a full review of this era of Minecraft, there's this one video by this channel called Delco called It's Not Nostalgia, Old Minecraft Was Great, that really dives deep into this era of Minecraft. After this video, if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. It's really good, and he goes way more in depth than I ever could within the time that I have. Taking all of this into consideration, we can answer the question of what is Minecraft about with this answer. Minecraft is about surviving in a hostile and lonely world where you persist despite the odds to make your mark on the world around you. And if you were talking about this classical era of Minecraft, I would agree 100%. But this premise would change with the release of Beta 1.8 and the Adventure Update. In 2011, Mojang would release Beta 1.8 and eventually the full release of the game, permanently changing how Minecraft as a game would be played going forward. Since Beta 1.8 is more of a transition period, I'm not really going to focus on it, but we still have everything from the beginning of the Adventure Update to the end of the Bountiful Update. This era of Minecraft, which I will be calling post-classical Minecraft, was the game at its height of popularity, but also approaching the initial fall from grace that Minecraft experienced prior to 2019. Just two things before I start with the analysis. One, I'm going to be using version 1.8.9 as my example version, and secondly, I will admit that I am a little biased towards the spirit of Minecraft. 1.8 was the first version I played, so. Post-classical Minecraft was still a survival sandbox game, but it changed from the pre-releases. The world generation was less retro and fantastical, the towering cliffs and bright green grass being replaced with rolling hills and dollar colors. The stark blackness of the caves in the night was gone, replaced with a more gradual transition to darkness. The sheer isolation of classical Minecraft is also reduced. While you are still alone for most of the time, there are additions that make the world you inhabit no longer as desolate as it was before. Mine shafts, villages, strongholds, nether fortresses, pyramids, swamp huts, and ocean monuments were all added to the game. You aren't truly alone anymore. The ruins of civilizations and small settlements are all around you if you bother to seek them out. The biggest change to the gameplay has to be the addition of hunger and sprinting. Rather than food directly healing you, you have a hunger bar that regenerates your health when full and allows you to sprint. Facing mobs is much less dangerous now. Scenarios that once might have been death sentences are now only moderately dangerous. With this, the old atmosphere of mystery, fantasy, desolation, and fear are vastly diminished. You're no longer dealing with a hostile and lonely world, but a more familiar and less obscure world that you can learn to start to thrive and succeed in. And thrive and succeed you can do. There is far more stuff to do in post-classical Minecraft. Not only are there more biomes and more blocks to build with courtesy of the 1.7 update, but there are far more game mechanics to use and exploit. The 1.0 update added enchanting, a way to make your gear far more powerful than before, albeit nerfed in 1.8 when lapis became a requirement, and brewing, one of the most underappreciated mechanics in a game. Some of the potions are completely broken. Here's me killing the Ender Dragon with strength too. Third performance enhancing drug of the day. Fourth, actually. Fifth, actually. Wait, what? Wow. Don't mess with performance enhancing drugs, man. Breeding was also added in 1.0, and combined with the new additions to farming in 1.4, expanded and created a staple part of every newer Minecraft base. While redstone was a part of the game since alpha, it received a massive overhaul in 1.5 that made it into the complex system we know and love today. At its core, post-classical Minecraft is still a sandbox game where you can create anything you want with some limitations. Although it did re-add creative mode where you can basically do what you want. But there are so many more blocks to work with that make it much easier to express your creativity. I can build way more in this version than I ever could in older versions of Minecraft. There is one other massive thing that was added to post-classical Minecraft. With two new additions, the Enderman and the Blazes of the Nether Fortress, you can locate and find your way to one of the most important additions of this era, an endpoint, in the form of the End and the Ender Dragon boss fight. But even that is arguably more of a side quest. Starting from 1.4, you can also fight the Wither, an even more powerful boss, especially on the Bedrock edition. Despite my bias towards this version of Minecraft, there are still problems I have with it. The atmosphere, world generation, and textures are honestly duller than what came before. Look, I know it's meant to be more realistic, but fuck that, okay? I play video games to escape reality. Why the hell do I want to see the same shit? If I wanted reality, I would go outside. I honestly prefer the older, mysterious, nostalgic, and uncanny feeling of classical Minecraft. Additionally, the Ender Dragon and the Java Wither are kind of pathetic boss fights. Sure, modern Minecraft sees players one cycle the Ender Dragon with beds, but the post-classical Ender Dragon just flies around and occasionally dives at you. Taking all of these factors into account, if you were to ask, what is Minecraft about with this era in mind, here is my answer. Minecraft is about learning to thrive in a world where, despite the aggression all around you, you're not alone, and you can do anything you set your mind towards. However, this era also wouldn't last. Following the release of the Bountiful update and the overwhelming success of Minecraft, in 2014, Notch would sell Mojang and Minecraft to Microsoft for $2.5 billion. The first major update after Microsoft's acquisition of Mojang would be version 1.9. The Combat Update. This is the beginning of modern Minecraft as we know it, although I would argue that releases 1.9 to 1.12 were more of a transition, and Update Aquatic was the first definitively modern Minecraft update. Also, I will be using 1.21, the latest release of Minecraft by the time of recording, as the example of modern Minecraft. The most infamous change to Minecraft was to the combat system. Prior to the update, there were no cooldowns. You could follow up an attack with another immediately afterwards. While blocking with the sword was a mechanic, it only reduced 50% of damage. The combat update changed this completely. I'm not an expert in Minecraft PvP, in fact I'm actually horrible at it, but there were 3 major changes. Axes were buffed, cooldowns were added to prevent spamming, and a shield was added. My opinion on the modern combat system is mixed, and it depends on which circumstance I'm in. I actually prefer the modern system when I'm playing survival. Whoa. Put your pitchforks down, let me explain. I think that evading and hitting is way more compelling than just walking up while spam clicking mobs. That being said, 1.8 PvP is better in my opinion because it encourages fast decision making and fights aren't too dragged out. However, there is one thing that I definitely don't like about the modern combat system. The shield. I like the idea of a shield in Minecraft, but they sort of messed up in adding it. The shield essentially removes the last few feelings of fear and danger from the game. In previous versions, if I came across a couple of skeletons, I would have to evade, hide away, use hit and run tactics, or simply tank the damage if I had good enough armor. In modern Minecraft, if I come across the same situation, here's what I would do. To be fair, Mojang does recognize that the shield is overpowered at times. There are now several mobs in the game that can disable the shield, but these are either all localized to a specific area in the game or rare. Combine this with the lighting and the old feelings of mystery and fear are basically gone. With one major exception. The Deep Dark and the Warden are the last few vestiges of this old feeling. It feels like something that shouldn't exist in Minecraft. And unlike other cases where I might say that, I mean that as a compliment. But other than that, the old atmosphere is completely gone. Starting from 1.17, the world generation was updated to include some absolutely insane mountains and caves, creating my personal favorite look for the game. Something about those towering peaks and the many types of caves creates a feeling of excitement and adventure. And on the topic of adventure, it has never been easier to explore in Minecraft. Modern Minecraft buffed boats in 1.13 to make them not suck anymore. Striders in 1.16 can help navigate the overhauled nether, and biggest of all, elytras in 1.9 essentially give you the power of flight. Mojang also added a metric shit ton of incentives for exploring. Buried treasure, increased chances of villages, nether bastions, and cities, shipwrecks, ancient cities, trial chambers, those are just some of the important structures that they added to the game. As a consequence though, the old feeling of desolation is completely gone. You definitely aren't alone when some light exploration can turn up small villages, hostile raiders dwelling in outposts and mansions, ruins of civilizations gone by, abandoned cities, etc. Also, I can mention this in another category, so I should mention this now. The Ender Dragon fight is actually far better in the modern versions. There's so much more to do now. While I have issues with the survival side of modern Minecraft, has it ever been better to be a builder than in the modern versions? There's so many new blocks with new palettes, new applications, and so many other things that one can build in modern Minecraft that players in previous versions could only dream of. So many new applications for redstone that contraptions that were once the toughest in the game to comprehend became easier than ever. Overpowered new weapons that completely change how the game is played. Fucking netherite. That's all I'm going to say on it. Villages went from being useless areas of the game to being OP. The main strategy to enchant is now to grind for a bit on farming or chopping down trees before trading them for emeralds and then paying the librarian for bookcases. Even better if the librarian has mending or some other enchantments. Whether you choose to just leave them where they are and travel to trade, or resurrect them in small slavery pods to keep prices low, there are multiple ways to deal with villagers in modern Minecraft. Another addition made to the game was in the form of woodland mansions and raids. By building a simple raid farm or plundering or killing the inhabitants of a mansion, you can get a Totem of Undying, which basically, if you die, you don't. That's the best way I can explain it. With all these factors in mind, I will now deliver my opinion on modern Minecraft. If you couldn't tell from a lot of the remarks I said, I have a pretty complicated relationship with the modern editions of the game. On the creative side, the game has never been better. On the survival aspect, it's a lot more complicated. I don't exactly like playing modern Minecraft in survival mode. I either need to play on an SMP or I just stick to building some stuff in creative mode. For a long time, I just assumed that Minecraft as a game was just boring. There was something that didn't appeal to me like it used to. I just outgrew the game. Then on a whim, after raging on an SMP I played on for a bit, I decided to try 1.8.9 out of some desire for nostalgia. And you know what? I had some of the most fun in the game I've ever had in a while. Slowly grinding to my goals, learning to thrive. I even killed the Ender Dragon, which I had never done legitimately in survival up to that point. Then I tried beta 1.7.3 and I also loved it as a nice change of pace. So, what gives? What is so different about modern Minecraft that appeals to me less than older versions? Nostalgia? That can't be. I didn't grow up with old Minecraft and I prefer it over versions 1.9 onwards. Lack of stuff to do? If that were true, I wouldn't prefer older versions that added way less. So why? The answer came to me one day. I was eating a 3-piece meal from Popeyes when I started thinking about what Minecraft as a game is about. Then it clicked. Classical Minecraft is about surviving in a hostile and lonely world and leaving your mark regardless. Post-classical Minecraft is about thriving and getting more familiar with the world around you to do anything you want to. Modern Minecraft is about becoming a god. Apotheosis comes from the Greek word apotheosis, which describes the process of becoming a god. In many pre-Christian or Islamic societies, turning deceased people into gods was a pretty common occurrence, especially for rulers. The Sapa Inca of the Incan Empire were revered as gods by the general population of Quechua of the Andes. Roman emperors were deified after their death before the empire's conversion to Christianity, and many historically and culturally significant figures in Chinese history have been worshipped as gods. However, just being lauded as a deity isn't what I would use to describe what Steve and Alex from Minecraft end up going through in modern Minecraft. Put simply, I think that modern Minecraft is about you, as a player, becoming a literal god. By doing basic grinding in the game, you can become functionally unkillable and unapproachable by regular enemies. You can bend the will of the world's inhabitants to your own, enslaving and using them to gain power easier. You can harness the power of flight, build complex machines that serve your every whim, push the game to its absolute limit, become immortal, rule over the empire of blocks, and when you've exhausted the world, gained everything there is, and explored everything there is to do, there is nothing left to inherit but wind. And the game was over, and the player woke up from the dream, and the player began a new dream, and the player dreamed again, dreamed better, and the player was the universe, and the player was love. The story of modern Minecraft is a story of ascension to the world of the divine. But what if I don't want to be a god? I'm going to start this section off by making a confession. Originally I was going to title this video something along the lines of, "Oh, here's why new Minecraft sucks and old Minecraft is better." But as I continued writing this video, discovering more and more things, the thing I ultimately ended up realizing is that I can't really make an objective video with that in mind, because since all three of these different eras of Minecraft are about different things, whichever one you prefer depends on what you're looking for from Minecraft as a game. While I personally don't really like modern Minecraft too well, I can understand why many people do prefer it over the other options. It gives you so many more options, and some people like to have their own little virtual world that they can rule over as a deity. At the same time, the fans of old Minecraft like a world where the only thing you have to worry about is surviving. Us post-classical fans like games where we can thrive and travel without having too much stuff to do. When it really comes down to it, in a weird roundabout way, what I said at the very beginning of the video was correct all along. Minecraft is about whatever you want it to be about. Whether you prefer the beta versions, the early post-release versions, or the latest releases, don't let anyone stop you from playing how you want to play. Not even a stupid YouTube video.